Hi, everybody. It's Karen Anderson here with Aortic Hope for this very special, so exciting Q&A that we have. I don't know if you guys recognize who's with me, but we have the African perfusionist. I found him, I stalked him, and I begged him to become part of the community. So he is here
Yeah,
with us today, Emmanuel Mbaka. And before we get started, I want to ask all of you, please click like. Please click subscribe wherever it is on your screen. And at the end, I'm going to remind you to please share because this isn't strictly just for the aortic disease community. This is also going to be pretty important for anybody that has to have open heart surgery. I think we're going to take you through with this interview some pretty basic but important things to be mindful of, whether it's before, during, or after surgery. So I'm going to tell you to share when we're all finished. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to Emmanuel. I'm going to let you take it away and tell everybody a little bit about who you are.
yeah. Thank you so much, Karen and Aortic Hope and Aortic family. My name is Emmanuel Mbaka. I'm a cardiac perfusionist here in Kenya. And what I do, I operate a heart-lung machine by which take over the function of the heart. It temporarily takes over the function of the heart during open heart surgery. Also, I'm the founder of the African Perfusionist, and it's a platform where I create awareness about open heart surgery and just help people to understand what really happens during open heart surgery. Yes.
So why, I mean, it's obvious to me, but to somebody who hasn't seen you yet, I was just talking to somebody in the UK who also follows you. So you are just becoming a global household whole name. What
Thank you.
made you decide to do this, to create the African perfusionist, to take time out of your day at the end of a day of being involved in surgeries, to take the time to create these kinds of posts?
So that's a good question.
Yeah.
Many people don't really understand what happens inside the operating room. You come in for the surgery, you'll understand, you'll get it that you'll know the surgeon, you'll know the anesthesia, you'll know who the nurses, but you don't understand who is a perfusionist. That's number one. Number two, many people fear what what is the heart surgery. They equate heart surgery with death. That's what is in my community, and I felt like I need to create awareness to people to tell people that this is not. Don't fear this. Through this, there is healing. Through this, your life will become better. So I started the African Profession is just to create awareness, to give hope to people that you'll go through this surgery, but at the end there is hope. You'll get healed and your life will be better. So this African Perfusionist platform is just to encourage you. It's just to give you updated about what happens inside the operating room. Many people don't know what happens there. They know many are fearful. They know when I get into that heart surgery, I'm not going to come out. And this platform is just to tell you that it will be well, it will be well, and there's hope at the end of it. Yes.
Well, and what's interesting is, like you said, all of us here in the community, we all know cardiothoracic surgeons. A lot of us
Yeah.
have vascular surgeons. We've met interventional radiologists. We know
Yes.
the nursing. We know the ICU. We
Yeah.
know the people who do the CT scans and the MRIs.
Yes.
Our
Yeah.
cardiologists, our primary care, maybe a mental health
Yeah.
therapist. But nobody's ever heard of, I don't think they really knew there was a name or that there was another person sitting at the head or the
Yeah.
feet. I don't know where you sit really, somewhere in there that you are your sole focus is to get us onto that machine, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and then
Yeah.
get us off of that machine. So I
Yes.
think I always thought the anesthesiologist who came in and
Yeah.
introduced themselves to me, made me sign papers, that they were kind of monitoring that, but they've got a whole other set of medications and oxygen and blood pressure. So the what exactly does the perfusionist do? What do you do? A lot.
Thank you for that. Many people, as you have mentioned, many people have never seen a perfusionist. By the way,
Yeah.
rarely do we go to the ICU maybe to review a patient before they come. They come to the hospital. That's it's just a personal initiative that you can take. Let me go and check for these patients, and then tomorrow, as we are doing this procedure, I might know the patient. So that is me personally. I do that, but
Hmm.
there's some people they don't do that, and We are not really in contact with the patients. So what we do is what we do comes now during the surgery. During the surgery.
Hmm.
I'll give an example. Right now, maybe you have an issue with electricity in your house, right? And when an electrician comes in to try to repair it, he'll have to switch the main switch, right?
Right.
So when they switch the main switch, now that's the time he will repair what he's going to repair, and then now he'll put on the light and everything will be okay. Now let me put that now to the surgery. When now the surgeon is trying to operate the heart, they're going to correct the aneurysm, the aortic aneurysm, they're going to repair the valve or replace the valve, or maybe to correct a congenital defect.
Hmm.
You'll have to arrest that heart. You can't operate on a living heart, the heart that is beating.
Right.
It's not possible. So you have to arrest that heart. But now it's quite different with the electricity, the example that I've given, because when the heart is stopped, remember you have organs in your body. You have
Yeah.
kidney, you have brain, you have liver, they need to be supplied with oxygen. Okay.
Hmm.
So now that's where now the perfusionist comes in. When the heart is stopped, the body organs need to be supplied with blood consistently, because if that's not done, the organs will be normal, right?
Right.
So
Right.
me as a perfusionist, my work is to ensure that there is good oxygen delivery to the whole body during that period of surgery, whether it's 2 hours, whether it's 5 hours,
Hmm.
whether it's 10 hours. And that's where now the heart lung machine comes in. So the heart lung machine now will temporarily take over the function of the heart and the
Hmm.
function of the lung during surgery. Yes. So we operate that. We have to, there's that cardiac output that you have. For example, me, I have a cardiac output of around 5.6 liters every minute.
Hmm.
My heart needs to pump 5.6 liters of blood every minute.
That's
So
amazing.
that's now the work of the heart lung machine. It has to pump 5.6 liters of blood every minute to
So is
equate
it
that.
is it just regenerating just like our own body? Is it like filtering and it's getting it out and bringing it back in just like your
Exactly.
own heart and
Yes.
lung? Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
I like
Yeah.
your analogy because I'm thinking of if a house loses power,
Uh-huh.
anything in the refrigerator and freezer is going to start melting and it's all going to perish. Basically, it's going to
Okay.
go back. But if you could turn on an emergency generator, that
Uh-huh.
can kind of keep certain things in your house going until the
Mm-hmm.
power comes back on or until whatever issue the electrician needs to come in and be like, "Oh, what's happening with this circuit
Uh-huh.
breaker?" And then you can switch from emergency generator back to regular power. That's
Okay.
what I just wrote that down. That is such a brilliant analogy. I never thought about it like that. And I think that that's part of what I love about the work that you're doing is that you make it so easy that it actually is. I'm certainly not scared anymore. I find it not comical, but it's like, yeah, I kind of had the emergency generator got turned on so that nothing went rancid. That's how I look at it. Right? So I just find it fascinating. Um, One of the other things I wanted to talk to you about is your posts really they're not just about what the perfusionist does, right? And I want to get
Yeah.
back into like what you're doing when you're because you one of the things you mentioned that struck me right away was that pause, that moment of silence before you do what you do in switching it over to emergency generator, and then the pause before you have to switch us back. And as patients, we don't think about what the emotions are of anybody in the room. I think sometimes we think about emergency room staff because they're faced with having to get us stable enough to send us on our way, and then they never know if we live or die, usually. So tell me a little bit about what got you to write that post. Like it's important, I think, for us to recognize that the medical staff have trauma at times too, I'm sure. They're
Yeah.
facing, I just talked with a patient today who said that after his surgery, he ended up having, he had cardiac tamponade. They could no time to get him to the OR. They did
Oh.
it all right there in the ICU. They called everything in, and he wasn't even. knocked out. He was already passed out. So they just got his chest open. And I'm thinking, wow, your poor doctors, after all those hours of surgery, thinking I'm going to go home for a little leftover dinner and sleep, now have to
Yeah.
wake back up on adrenaline. And you never give consideration to what they're going through and what they take home and what they internalize. So tell everybody a little bit about your perspective and how you feel in those moments of turning off and turning on.
You know what? That's the moment that for us in the operating room sometimes you might be emotional because uh we'll go on. We always say going on pump, right?
Hmm.
So the surgeon has worked on the repair, and it might be a complex surgery, and it can take hours.
Yeah.
And then when it is done, there's that moment where now we allow now blood to go into the heart now. So that moment we expect the heart to start coming on,
Hmm.
coming up, coming out, and sometimes nothing happens. Sometimes, and you do everything. So you sometimes you take the pacing wires, you take the pacing wires, you place it on the heart and try to make it, but
Hmm.
it's not coming. And that's the time again you start now to figuring out, did we do something wrong?
Right.
For us as on the perfusionist side, did we did we not protect the heart well? Because one of the things that we really care about during heart surgery is heart protection.
Hmm.
That's why there's some things that the solution that we give that arrest the heart, it must be cold, it must be delivered under high pressure. Okay,
Yeah.
it must be first, it must be very cold, it must be delivered under high pressure, and it must be delivered in a required flow. So when we want to come off, the the clamp is removed and the heart is not picking, the heart is not beating. It is so emotional, and we sometimes we look at ourselves and, hey, what happened?
Right.
What is not? But I thank God because after some time you'll start seeing some some
Blips.
movements. Let me,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
you start when you're looking on the ECG, you'll start seeing some breathing coming on, coming on, coming on. And also, what helps us a lot is when they're putting the pacing cables. It
Hmm.
also the heart starts to pick up, and also we just give the heart time to rest.
Yeah.
Just give the heart time to heal. And when we give the heart time to heal, you'll start seeing now it start becoming stronger and stronger and
Hmm.
stronger and stronger. That's number one. Number two, also we do, like, we just do some tests. Maybe there's something wrong on the blood. Maybe some electrolytes, the chemicals are high. Let me use the word chemicals are high, and we need to correct them. Also, that can help the heart. So that moment is very emotional.
Hmm.
You have worked on a heart for almost 5 hours, and then now the time that you want the heart to start picking, it's not picking. It's not beating. What is, it's really emotional, but most of the time, it can take 10 minutes, it
Hmm.
can take 20 minutes. One thing about heart surgery, it has taught me to be patient. You have to be patient.
Right.
You have to be patient with that heart.
Yeah.
You're not in a hurry. Sometimes we just sit down and wait.
Just need to give it a minute. Maybe it's just
Yeah,
sleepy. And
it's just
it's like,
sleeping.
woo,
So
I don't want to wake up just yet. Right.
yeah, you just sit down and wait. You wait, you wait, you wait, you wait, and then, hey, let's check it out. Let's check. Maybe something is it has had enough rest, and then you start now. The heart is becoming stronger
Hmm.
and stronger and stronger and stronger.
I mean, and
Yeah.
sometimes I'm sure you might have to shock it. I think
Yep.
doctors sometimes massage, but because you're
So
talking about it's got to get warmer, which it will with the blood, right? Is going to warm it up on its own also, but I'm sure there's medications and then there's different things you can try. And I just picture the room being like, okay, well, this didn't happen. We're just going to try this. Okay, well, that didn't happen. Let's just try. And then, you probably must sit there and be like, that damn heart took five different things to get it going. It stressed me out. I just picture, I wish I knew the conversations that go on in the room because it still has to be stressful, even though you know to be patient There's no comorbidities. There's no reason it won't turn on. It just, we still are human bodies. It still has a
Yeah.
mind of its own, right?
Let me talk about the shocking part.
Yeah.
Uh, the shocking when the heart, we shock the heart when it starts coming with the abnormal rhythm.
Hmm.
Yeah. So the moment we introduce blood in the heart, sometimes the heart, yes, it will pick up, but now it start with abnormal rhythm. So
Hmm.
they call some, you find it's defibrillating, there's VTAC. So uh, at that moment, we have to shock the heart. So they will take the parts and then they place on the heart and then they shock it. And then after shocking, now it will come back now to this normal sinus rhythm.
Right. Goes back
That's what happens.
into rhythm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But sometimes you find, yes, you shock it. There's some medication that will give. Well, for us on the perfusion, the anesthesia side, they will give some medication that to control that abnormal breathing. But
Hmm.
sometimes you shock it, but it's just continue. It
Yeah.
continues. You shock it, it continues. You do the test, the blood gases. For example, you might find it's abnormal. Maybe the potassium is high. You
Hmm.
need to correct it. Now you can. But sometimes everything is okay. Everything is okay, but still the heart is it's having issues. So
Yeah.
it is it's very it's something that you it's not straightforward. Let me use that word. It's
It's a
not
balancing
straightforward.
act. It seems like it's a
Yeah,
balancing act, and just even like it's going to take it off balance, right? It's very simple for it to just, it almost seems like it would be more rare for it to just go completely perfect, that you
yeah,
really do have to expect a degree of unexpected moments because
exactly,
the heart
exactly.
is a very complicated thing. And so it could beat really fast. It could be beating really slow. It might not beat at all.
Yeah,
You don't know what you're going to find necessarily. The key, though, is to get it to beat. We just need it to beat.
yeah,
You can get it to
yeah.
beat, like you're saying, check the blood, see if there's
You
something that we
check
need
it.
to give.
Yeah,
What did we do? Is there an electrolyte imbalance? I'm making this up because I don't know anything, but maybe there's something off kilter and you go
yeah.
back in and you check. And then once you get it back, then it's like, right, this now the patient definitely needs to rest. So we're just gonna let it rest, right? And that's when we live
And
on
you
our breathing machines. It's the worst.
and you know some and just to add is something to add. There is no simple surgery.
Man, right?
There is no, you can have a simple case, maybe just correcting atrial septal defect, ASD
Hmm.
closure. That one can take maybe 1 hour or
Hmm.
2 hours at most. But you might leaving that operating room at 5 hours or 6 hours. So one thing I've learned in this profession is something can happen. Something can happen. There's nothing like we'll start like this, we go like this, we
Yeah,
do this, we do this. Anything can happen. It might be on your perfusion side, something
right.
can happen that can affect the surgery. It can be on the field, it can be on the anesthesia side. So these unexpected things might happen. So you just need to be prepared. When you go in the morning, we are having a case, you need to be ready. You need to be
Right.
ready. If
Right.
plan A fails, there's plan B, there's plan Z, there's plan C.
Exactly. We're on
So you
plan
need just to be,
W, right?
yeah,
Exactly. Well, you know what would be nice is, so I feel like emergency room physicians need to learn how to explain to a patient you're having an aortic dissection instead of going pale and being like, you're having an aortic dissection. You got 2 minutes to decide where we're going to life flight you, because that causes panic. I think if they were just took your hand and just said, listen, we're having a slightly serious situation here. It's going to be
yeah,
fine. We deal with this all the time, but I need you to make a
yes,
decision. It's still scary, but they're calm. They don't look like they're freaking. So you don't, it's like the
yeah,
flight attendants on a plane. When they buckle up and they have their head in their laps, I'm losing my mind. When they're still drinking a drink and there's bumpy,
yeah,
I'm like, oh, this must not be that big a deal. So in this case,
yeah,
I feel like when it comes to surgery, when surgeons say, oh, this should take about 6 hours, that's very scary
hmm,
if they come out at 4, because people are like, oh crap, here comes the surgeon. It's only been 4.5 hours. Somebody must have died. But really, they're coming out to say everything went really well. We got through this a lot quicker than anticipated,
yeah,
and it's good. So you get excited. But when it's they say 6 hours and it's eight, 8.5, family
Yeah,
members start losing their mind. And then even if they hear, well,
exactly.
there was a slight complication, it doesn't matter what you say after that. They've already planning for the absolute worst, even though it's something you deal with all the time. So to you,
Yeah,
6 hours really means let's shoot for less than 10. But because on average it could be six, but really isn't. It really is eight. I'd rather people tell patients it could be anywhere from 6 to 10, and I'm leaving that big
yeah.
area, that big gap.
You give
But
time.
yeah, because hearts are funny things, and sometimes they are sleepy, and sometimes they're jittery when they wake up, and so we have to make them not be nervous. Like explain it like ChatGPT to a child, and we would then be like, "Oh, okay, this isn't so scary." Right?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
wish that would be the
You're
case, which
you're
is where
right on
you
that
come in.
because in the like uh the aortic surgeries,
Mhm.
the valve coming up, the ascending, going to the arch.
Yep.
Those surgeries take time.
Yeah.
They take time. They take time, and also are the surgeries that also they're prone to maybe complications.
Hmm.
Uh, much of mostly the surgeries that happen on the arch, along the arch,
Yeah.
ascending, and then the arc of outer. Hey, it's so it takes time. It takes
Right.
time, and it's good what you're saying. Like I give you a time frame, from 6 to 10 hours. Yeah, from 6 to 10 hours, I think
Hmm.
would be, yeah, it would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even though it
don't
still
just
could
say
be, because I'm thinking if it goes to 12, there probably was a complication versus
yeah.
just we took our time. So I do want to ask you though, if your job is to get the patients on the bypass machine, do you just sit
Okay.
there the whole time? Because really, what else is there to do? They're on, the blood's moving. You're just going to stare at it for a while. I mean, I don't know what else happens. Like, why wouldn't you be able to leave and go get a coffee and come back 6 hours later and be like, we're ready to disconnect. All right, let me do the. I mean, what are you doing in that whole time period?
So the protocol that we have,
Mm-hmm.
you need to have two perfusionists in the room.
Oh, okay.
You need to have two because someone can take a break.
Mm-hmm.
You might need something because that chair, you're not supposed to leave that chair no matter what.
Okay.
Once we are on, the moment the patient is, let me say, the moment you have done with the timeout,
Yep.
the timeout is where we introduce the patient again. We say the patient is, for example, Emmanuel Mbaka came with aneurysm, prepared this and this. Everyone talks. The surgeon will talk, the anesthetist, the perfusion, and the nurse, and we agree. We all of us are in one accord, and then we start the surgery. As a perfusionist, you're not supposed to leave the room
Okay.
until the end of the surgery.
Okay.
Okay, so we are always two. So in case ones need to take a break, they can take a break.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you as a perfusionist, when you are seated on that chair, there's some things that you check. They say like you need your eyes need to go 360. Your ears need to be 360. You need to hear what
Okay.
the surgeon is saying. You need
Okay.
to hear what the anesthetist is saying. You need to see what the surgeon is doing. As in, I need to know. I'm seated behind the surgeon, but I need to know what he's doing.
Yep.
I need to know every stage.
Mm-hmm.
Every stage. At that time, at that moment, also, I'm checking the pressure of the patient.
Okay.
If there's a problem, maybe the pressure is going down or it's going up. I need to check the urine of the patient. How is the urine coming out? I need to
Mm-hmm.
check how is my flows. I need to, at some moment, in our circuit we have safety features, and some centers they don't have safety features, but
Mm-hmm.
we have safety features that really help us to avoid issues because something with perfusion you can just look one side and when you come back there's a mess.
Right. Right. Okay.
Yeah, so you
So, I
need to
mean,
be
that makes sense to me because just like our blood is constantly flowing, there's
yeah,
probably subtle changes you could determine. I mean, people end up having strokes sometimes in these surgeries.
exactly.
And so
Yes.
you kind of
Yeah.
monitoring, I guess,
Yes.
what's it? Is it INR or you're monitoring the clotting factor? It's probably a lot of testing that's going on continuously through surgery.
Yeah.
So you're making
Yeah.
adjustments.
So
Ah,
we make adjustments. We take the blood sample. You check
yeah.
your pressure. If the pressure is low, I need to make that pressure to be at the right, the one the one that we discussed. before
Yeah.
the procedure. If we say that Karen, her pressure is supposed to be above 70, me as a perfusionist, I need to maintain that pressure above 70. When it
Hmm.
comes down to 50, I'm failing. I'm failing. Even the surgeon will ask me, what's wrong? So I need to maintain that pressure. In case the case is going on and I'm not seeing urine in the urine bag, there's a
Hmm.
problem. I need to
That's
work
fine.
on that. Yeah. In
Right,
case,
because you might not have blood being perfused to kidneys or something.
yes,
Okay, it's all coming
yes.
together. It's all getting to understand.
In
Yeah, that
case
makes sense.
sometimes I might be seated there and then my lung is not working.
Hmm.
The oxygen level is going down.
Hmm.
So I need to do something because if there's no oxygen, your brain is dead.
Right, right.
So yeah, so those are the things that I check every time I'm
Hmm.
documenting. So you need just to be alert. You need to be alert.
Right.
So you cannot leave that chair.
Yeah.
In case you
Okay.
want to take a break, you tell your friend you hand over. I've done this and this and this,
Hmm.
and we need to add blood. Sometimes the blood level can go down, the
Yeah.
HB can go down, so I might need to add blood to the pump.
Hmm.
So those are the things that really need to ensure that we have a successful surgery
Right.
yeah, during the
So
procedure.
interesting. So does a 6 hour surgery feel like 6 hours to you, like it does to caregivers, or is it just the time just goes by?
Now, first, when I come in the morning, psychologically I'm prepared. Like today we had a patient with aortic dissection. It
Mm.
was out ascending outer, and they were replacing the valve and also they repairing the ascending outer. So when I see that text showing me, hey, tomorrow it's aortic, I know this surgery might take around 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours. So mentally, I'm ready.
You're
So
ready.
when I get into that room, I know nothing less than 5 hours. So
Hmm.
I'm here. So
That's
it's
it.
just that psychologically I'm prepared myself.
Yeah.
So I know when I come in the morning at around 7, I know this surgery might at around 5 is the time
Hmm.
the patient might be being taken to the ICU. So I'm always psychologically prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do they play music in the OR? Do they tell fun stories? Does anybody
Now,
talk about anything that's going on, or is it, I mean, because I know, like, I've had abdominal surgery, and that surgeon will be like, "What do you want to listen to when you fall asleep?" And I'm like, "I don't
yeah,
care. Just push the medicine slow so I can enjoy it." And he's got like rock music going, and because I don't want to say spa music because I don't want you to fall asleep. I want it, whatever's going to keep you awake and energized. Do they do it during the heart surgery? It's a surgeon's preference.
surgeon preference.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll talk to surgeon because in the heart surgery, it's like a plane. There are those tense moments. When the plane is going up and then also when it is landing.
Yeah.
It's just also it's with the heart surgeon. There's that moment where you don't want to hear any noise.
Right. Yeah.
Those tense moments that everyone is focused. Me
Right.
on the perfusion side, I don't want any noise apart from what I want to hear the surgeon. I
Right.
just want to hear what the surgeon is saying.
Yeah.
But there's that moment when it is calm. Like
Hmm.
that's it. The surgeon is just working on the repair. On the repair, me on my side, I'm just seated, looking at the monitor and just enjoying myself. At that moment, music can go on.
Yeah.
But during starting, when you are starting and when we are coming off, mostly the surgeons don't want to hear noise at that time.
Okay.
Maybe if there's any
It's
tense moment, if
tense.
there's something
It's,
that's
yeah,
happened. Yeah, yeah,
tense moment. Okay.
yeah, yes, yes,
So I want to ask you because I've made it very clear that I begged, please, please be part of this community.
yeah,
We've got two posts coming up for you in
yes,
August, and I think we're
sure.
going to move this, if you're willing, from two to once a week because I mean, you put out so many posts a day, and I'm like, can you put out 7 posts for us a day? And the reason is because, again, the things you talk about, we
Yeah,
were just talking before we started recording
sure.
about the chair. And I don't know, today is, what is it, August 5th. I don't know if anybody's had a chance to read this, The Chair. This will stick with me forever because I was telling you, I've got some video on TikTok of the chair, of the moment when they made me stand up. I hadn't even been in ICU 24 hours. And And that is just such, it's a momentous moment, right? I'm sure it means a lot to the doctors because they know they need you up and they have all their rationale. And it is so horrific. It's so bad for us. But when I read what you wrote, it just, it felt so good to hear somebody that's not a patient
Yeah,
respect and understand and have an idea, or at least trying so hard to understand what where we might be coming from. And I
yeah,
cannot impress upon this community enough that that I think is the essence right there of what you do. Is it's very important for us to talk to our peers, our patients, our caregivers,
yeah,
because we validate each other. And
sure.
one of the reasons we're patient-led support group meetings is because doctors and nurses don't know what it feels like to take it out of chest tube. They don't know what that first stand feels like. And but you, who may not know, which I'm suspecting you don't, you try to know from an understanding, empathetic care person, care person. Um, and that I think that's what was I found so refreshing and wonderful was you're actually saying things that I felt, and yet you haven't had to have that first stand on your own, but yet you've read about it and seen it enough that you now have adapted a perspective. And I am very much looking forward to seeing the content that you either tag us in, share to us, put on our pages, because I think that unlike many doctors who, and there are some great doctors that are so empathetic and right there with you, you are just like another community member for us, as far as I'm concerned. And yet you haven't had this, thank goodness for you. How do you do that? How are you able to just even in your mind feel these feelings and think these thoughts?
So, I'm not just a perfusionist. That's something that my my mentor told me. Don't just be a perfusionist.
Hmm.
So one thing I do, I follow up my patients.
Yeah.
After the surgery is done, tomorrow morning, the next day in the morning, I need to come very early to the ward round so that I can see how you're doing.
Hmm.
And during the ward round, together with the doctors, I follow up. I hear how you fare on during the night. How was the blood gases? If you had a fair night or
Yeah.
the night was not good. If you're able to talk, I talk to you. How was your night? So by doing that, it has given me some experience of how the patient is feeling.
Right. I wish
Yeah,
you would
so
have been there to talk to me because you would have been like, "Ooh, I have memories of that." Yeah.
I follow up patients. That's one thing that, in case I'm running a case, for example, if tomorrow I'm the one on the pump,
Hmm.
I'll ensure they are on the following day. I will wake up early in the morning because our round starts early. By 7, the round have started. So I'll ensure I'm in the round.
Hmm.
When I'm in the round, I will know how the patient slept,
Yeah.
the tests that were done, and also the plan. At that
Hmm.
moment, now I will hear the surgeon is saying, now we need to take we need to take Karen to chair now. We need to
Hmm.
put her to chair to see how she is. Also, we need maybe to start chest physiotherapy. We need to start chest physio to allow this person to cough. So,
Oh, the
and then,
spirometer, the breathing.
yeah,
Yeah.
spirometry,
Yes.
telling also this hearing that telling them try to do the spirometry, try to push that ball to go up, the third ball
Yes.
to go up. And
Yeah.
those things really teach me a lot on how to relate with these patients. I follow the patient until they're being discharged. So I try to follow these patients because I'm not just a perfectionist. I don't want just to sit in the operating room and sit and do the case and then go home. No, no, no.
Right.
That's
That would
not.
be very hard because you
Yeah,
get no sense of even any form of closure. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
that's the reason why now you find like the post I wrote about the chair. I I knew what you guys you feel when being told, "Hey, can you sit in that chair?" The first time,
Yeah.
I see the pain that you're feeling, that first pain, that first step. I really understand what the patient is going through.
You know what else you can talk about? Because I know that sometimes I just start talking and then you're taking notes something. Let's talk about why we wake up and we've gained 20 pounds. overnight.
Ah, wow,
Okay,
wow, wow,
and
wow.
then the crazy part is people want you to walk, but you can't bend your feet because they're so fat and your little toes are now sausage toes and your hands are just like this because they're 10 times the size. And I mean, look, for a woman, when you find out you gain 20 pounds, it's sad, but by the
Yeah,
time you
it
leave,
is.
you've lost 22 and you're like, I'm on my
Yeah.
way. It is jarring for our care partners, our caregivers when they come in, they're like, wow, like they don't say
Yeah.
anything. They're very kind. They're like, oh, you look so pretty. And we see ourselves and we're like, I'm a marshmallow man. I'm just huge. And you want me to try to walk and I can't even pick anything up. I got 1,000 tubes hanging out of me.
Ah,
And it's, I think the walk after the chair and
yeah.
the retention, the fluid retention, the
Yeah,
puffiness.
the fluid retention. Yeah.
It scares people and they don't
Yeah.
understand why we're given so much Lasix because it is
Yeah.
imperative to leave right at what you came in at weighing, if not less, which would be wonderful. But
Yeah.
why do, like, tell everybody why we have to have the fluid retention. Now, so I'm looking forward to a post to read that. I have
I'm going to do that.
1 million ideas. I could
I'm
tell
going to
you
do
a
that.
lot.
You have a lot of ideas. You
All
have
right,
a
let's
lot of
talk about before surgery. What's with the funky wash we have to wash our bodies with? And why did they give me an electric razor? Like,
ideas.
I thought you're doing surgery up here. What am I really, what's happening? I don't want anybody seeing anything. I was gonna put sticky notes all over my important body parts and be like, close your eyes. You're not supposed to be looking at this anyway. Because we just don't know. And it's like, it's a very
Yeah,
vulnerable
it is
position.
it is it is important to people to understand what is going on because
Yeah.
you'll be woken up around 4 a.m. in the morning, being
Yeah.
told, hey, you need to shower with this, you need to
Hmm.
use this in your mouth, this mouthwash, you need to shower with this antiseptic, you need to
Yeah.
scrub yourself. All those things there's a reason for that. All
Right.
those things there's a reason for that. And it's really
Yeah.
important for people to know so that you don't have those questions. Why? Because you'll find that some people may not be, you'll just be told, go shower with this.
Yeah.
Then you ask yourself why. Even the person,
Exactly.
maybe the person who is telling you that, maybe he or she might not know the reason why you're doing
Right.
that.
They don't
That
understand MRSA. They don't understand,
yeah,
this having a nasal swab to find out you have staph in your nose. Well, now they're giving
yeah,
me ointment before surgery. And I'm like, why is that bad? I've had this my whole life. So it is just, it's going to be so nice and so refreshing to have you explain these things the way that you do.
thank
And
you.
there's some
I'll do that.
comic relief in there and there's a lot of empathy in there. And I just
Yeah,
want to let you know before we wrap this up that we are honored and excited to have you all the
thank
way
you.
from Kenya. This is so fun. I mean, when I was a kid, I was just excited to have a phone that didn't have a cord. I thought that was really special. And here I am talking to you right now. I'm dating
Yeah,
myself, and I know I'm a lot older than you, so let's not talk about that. But I want everybody to know that I think, let me double check the date. What is today's the 5th, so 6th, so 7th. I think your first post comes out next week in August. We're going
oh,
to see your first post and then 2 weeks later.
yeah.
And then my goal is I'd like to let's just do this weekly. Let's just do it because I want it and
We'll
you
talk
want to
about that.
do it. So if we can do it, let's do it. Otherwise, please, everybody, go to the African Perfusionist on Facebook and
Yeah,
Instagram. Check out what he's got going on and then
yes,
tell your friends that are there to come check out us because the post will be a little bit more tweaked and tailored to the aortic specific community. Because remember, we're not the only ones that have open heart surgery. Bypasses happen, other types of valves get replaced. There's all kinds of
yes,
things that go on in hearts that don't always involve us. Come on, the aorta is not even really part of the heart. So we can't take
yeah,
up all of those posts, but they're applicable to many people. So thank
yes.
you so much. Thanks for
You're
joining.
most welcome.
Thanks
Thank
for
you, thank
joining
you,
me
thank
today. We are going to, don't go anywhere when we're done here. But again,
you.
everybody
Yeah,
check out the African Perfusionist. And if you can find him on Instagram, he sings too. He's a great singer. Uh, and keep your eye out for some of the posts on our website and on all of our social media platforms. They're going to be
yeah,
shared everywhere. And I do believe confidently I can say that we will have you on again. And maybe this time, the next time we'll go live and we'll be able to take some questions from the community.
yeah.
But
Thank
until
you.
then, everybody, don't forget, click like, click share. I mean, click subscribe and share this because there are people in your life that might need to have bypass or have other, we've got them widowmakers. You don't want them filling up with atherosclerosis stuff and calcium. Just go share it because somebody else who might need heart surgery hears about being put on bypass and it sounds scary. And this man
Yes.
right here makes it not so scary. All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you again so much. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.